Marten, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me, Matt. It's great to be here.
So tell everybody what you do, how long you've been doing it, and how you help people.
I am the lead reviewer at Mattress Clarity, which means I am the main reviewer of most sleep products, specifically mattresses. It's a very interesting job. I tell people I do it like you review mattresses, and it's a real thing. I've been doing it for 5 years, and how I help people is helping people get the best sleep possible, really. And mostly what I review and what we do on our site with my other reviewers is online products. And the issue with online products, they're great. It's super easy to obviously purchase from home. During COVID, that was, a huge thing that people were buying everything from home. But you can't try out the product yourself usually, besides a sleep trial, like, hey, this mattress sounds really great, but I can't try it out for myself. And so that's kind of where we come in, and where I come in is I've tried out over 300 mattresses. And so breaking them down through roundups, like, if you're a side sleeper, here's what you should look for. Here's 10 that'll work for you, or kind of sleep health content as well on video, and also on our website, to basically help you get good sleep, know what affects your sleep overall. I mean, when I started doing this, actually, I didn't know a lot about sleep, and I didn't know I had sleep apnea. And I wrote one article and I said, that sounds like me. I went and got checked out. So literally my job saved my life. And so I take it very seriously.
Well, I have thousands of questions. We could do this for a long time, but let me start with the first one, which is, how long do I keep a mattress? Let's start right there. How do I know if my mattress is shot?
So the quick answer usually is between 7 and 10 years. If you're at the 10-year mark, I don't care what the mattress is, it's probably time to trade that in. I mean, I remember my mattress that I slept on in high school. I mean, I think that thing had been in our house for a long time. Sorry, mom and dad, but it was garbage, but some signs to look out for, because some, cheaper mattresses, or some even newer mattresses that are on the high end, might not last for that long. And so number one is sagging, right? So if you have the canoe effect, if you sleep with a partner and you both end up in the middle of the bed, that's always a bad sign. That means that your foams, your coils are starting to weaken, kind of lose their supportive qualities. Not a good feeling, obviously, overall. Another thing is honestly smell. If you start to get a strange smell coming from your bed, this is a little bit gross, but your bed traps allergens, it traps dead skin cells, and over time that can start to kind of make you have allergic reactions while you're sleeping. You wake up stuffy in the morning. So red eyes and stuffy, not during allergy season, it might be your bed's faults. And then lastly is just are you tired? That's usually, if you wake up every day exhausted, and you've been tested for things like sleep apnea, it's not, something like that. It's like your bed, or you feel aches and pains. I mean, it helps. This is for people of all ages, but lower back pain can be exacerbated or caused by an improper mattress, or you're a side sleeper and you're sleeping on a firm mattress and you feel pain in the morning on your shoulders and your hips. Probably time to upgrade to something more fitted to your style, or a new mattress just altogether.
Thank you. So again, I'm going to try to take this little step by step, at least how my brain works.
Sure.
All right, let's say it's been 7 to 10 years.
Yep.
And I want a new mattress. And I make the mistake, and I say this tongue in cheek, I make the mistake of typing in new mattress in Google or Bing or someplace, and all of a sudden I've got 8,000 web pages. How the heck do I begin thinking about where to buy a new mattress, what type? Where do I even begin on this online world of, do I walk into my local store and forget the internet? Help me. How do I start this?
So my quick answer for in store, I try to stay away from them as much as possible. The one upside of them is you can try it out for yourself. One of the big issues, though, with a lot of in-store mattresses is there's a lot more kind of hidden costs. You're not sure what's in the mattress. One of the things I like about online mattress companies and brands is most of them are very transparent about what's in the mattress. So you go on the site, what you're paying for. If you're going to get the Nectar versus Nectar Premier, why am I paying more from the Premier versus some salesperson saying, oh, it's just nicer? Like, you want to know what the extra money is getting you, right? Um, Obviously, I mean, our site, mattressclarity.com, is a great kind of place to, I think, begin your search and to end your search as well. I say start with the kind of, we call it higher in the funnel, like look at mattress roundups, right? So, if your main issue is I'm a side sleeper, go to our side sleepers page, right? That will give you tips in general at the bottom of our buyer's guide of what to think about. Again, like I want pressure relief, right? I want something on the softer end. So even if you don't pick something from our list, you still have an idea kind of how to decode what are on the brand's websites, right? If you're a back sleeper, same thing. Look at our back sleepers page, or again, go into like the sleep health content. If you want to go deep, read everything about what a side sleeper needs and what kind of pillow you need. But that's kind of where we try to come in, is to be everything you need on one site, right? To figure that out. But I do at the same time recommend taking your time. I don't think there is a quick fix, and there's not one mattress that's great for everybody. It's very specific, again, depending on your feel preferences, right? Like, you may hate a memory foam feel. And so if you're not going to go to our memory foam page, right? You're like, oh, I like something bouncier. Go check out latex. Or you like something more supportive, or you're a larger person like me. I'm 270 pounds. We have actually a page for best for heavy people, for people who need more support. There are mattresses made specifically with people like me in mind. So as you said, it's overwhelming. I mean, there are so many. When I started 5 years ago, I could probably count all the major brands on like my toes and fingers. And now it's like 20, 30 times that amount. It's completely blown up since then.
All right. So if I'm online searching and I know, by the way, and I'm going to ask you this, I'll ask you now. What if I don't know what I am? I mean, I start out on my belly, I go to my side, I end up on the other side, and then I wake up at some mornings and I'm on my back snoring. Like, I don't know where I am. Is that because I'm a combo sleeper? Or maybe is that because what I suspect is I get a lousy mattress and I really need to pick something?
It could be both, right? But I think that if you have an older mattress, you can deduce that your mattress is not giving you the support and comfort you need, and so you're constantly moving around at night. And like you said, if you're waking up in different positions every morning, probably not a combo sleeper. Like, a lot of times, for me at least, like, I've always kind of stood by the idea that whatever you wake up in is your position, your favorite position, because if you like to sleep on your side, it makes you feel comfortable, but you always wake up on your back. That's where you're naturally kind of going. But if you're switching around a lot during the night, constantly, and it's always a different position, like belly to back to stomach, stomach is belly, or to your side, it's probably your mattress. And so I would say, once you get a mattress that makes you feel comfortable and supportive, it'll probably let you know. It's a little bit backwards sometimes, right? You need to try something out. Another option too is to maybe go to a nice hotel. That's one of the tests that we always tell people, or just any kind of hotel where you're like, I don't know if my mattress is giving me what I need. If you go to a nice hotel and you sleep great, maybe you read, what kind of mattress was that? Like, it's a good way to kind of try things out. Or if you need to go to a store, try some stuff out there, but you don't have to buy it there. If you don't want to deal with the pushy salespeople, you'd be like, oh, this is closer to what I like. This says this is medium firm. That's making me feel good. But it is sometimes hard to deduce exactly what your position is. If you see with a partner, maybe they can tell you, oh, you seem to sleep on your side a lot, when I wake up in the middle of the night. There's ways to kind of do detective work to figure that out.
Okay, thank you. But now back to my other one. I think I got out of my order as soon as I got into it, which is, um, how do I know what's the best? Which of course is subjective, but I want to say at one point I was shopping for a new mattress, and my mom sent me a bunch of clippings, which I'm sure she wasn't supposed to do. She Xeroxed Consumer Reports, and which is kind of
Nice.
the, dare I say, old school, original rater and reviewer of everything under the planet.
Yes.
And so I took it and I looked and I circled the top three and cross-referenced with the other top three brands, and I picked one and I ordered it and it showed up. Is that a way to do it? Or are there so many other resources and frankly so many other brands out there and personal preferences that You need to like almost comparison shop your comparison shopping sites.
Yeah, I have a friend, we were talking about this one time of for instance, even not doing mattresses. Let's say I'm looking for best headphones, right?
Yeah.
I like to pick the top 5 sites and see where they cross over, right? So if every one of those is saying that these headphones are the best, I have a pretty good idea that there's like some consensus, across the market. But it is also, it's a mix of doing your own research too. One of the things I like about, a site like ours is it tries to go past like sometimes the business speak you get on a brand website, right? So everything's going to be the most cooling mattress, everything's the most comfortable mattress, everything's the most supportive. But like, it's again with any kind of marketing, that's just not always true. Great mattresses, but they're all trying to, say you said like the best in the world, right? So our individual reviews, I think, are good for that, of just being like, all right, does it live up to what the marketing says? At the same time, I've gotten a little too deep in the research myself on, different types of foam and different densities of foam and how durable they are, or even things sometimes that are not as effective as as marketing says they are. It's times like, okay, I can ignore that for right now. What really matters is this component versus this.
So it's the concept of overchoice. It seems it's out there a whole bunch. I mean, I again, not to always tie it back to Medicare, but that's kind of my, one of my things. But there's so many choices. It's how to start, where to start. Do I start with features and benefits? Do I start with price? Do I start? I mean, there's just so many things. So your advice is then go to your top 5 or pick 5 sites and kind of cross reference and see see if there are any commonalities.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think I have a theory that because there are so many options now, it's a little bit of Princess and the Pea, that we now have so many options. We believe that there's like the perfect bed for our situation, right? And again, in the past, like when I was growing up, it was like, you just got a bed,
right?
Your
No, we didn't
parents
have any
sit you down.
choices. It was you roll
Cool,
down
I
to
got a
the
bed.
neighborhood mattress store and you get, all right, I need a twin. Do you
And
like
you just
firm
kind
or
of,
soft? I don't
yeah,
know. Pick one.
absolutely. You just kind of dealt with it, right? And
Yeah.
now it's, on one hand, I love there's options, right? But like you said, it's definitely choice overload where you're like, I don't even know like where to begin. And almost like I know so little to even start my buying journey, and I think another like a good like top place. So like, our best mattress page, I think is great for this, where it's like kind of all you need to know. Again, best mattress is more of a general term, it's
Right.
not, you're not getting down into like your specific needs, but we have on there side sleepers, memory foam, latex options. But the bottom, it's like the buyer's guide of everything to think about and what you also just don't need to worry about quite as much. Again, that I don't want to give people too much information. And it's like, you want to think about 965 things when you're going to buy a mattress. Like that's not making their process any easier, right? It's making it more difficult.
Yep. So, do you, we talked about online and reviews, and we talked about in store, and you said, I wouldn't go in store, but you also kind of said, well, I don't know if you said it or my brain thought it and put it in your mouth, but what about going online and finding a version of the one you think fits for you, and then finding a local store and trying it out? Is there a way to do that and try it out so I'm not buying this sight unseen? And if I do that, is there wiggle room if the online price is, I don't know, $1,000 and you roll in and say, hey, listen, I found this online for $1,000? Will the local corner mattress store play with that number? Like, well, is there a dynamic or a way that a consumer or a guy like me can go in there and kind of get a deal?
That's a good question. Well, first off, I think it is a good way to try. A lot of brands now, like when it kind of started online, it was 2 separate entities. It was like in store were certain brands, and then online were certain brands, and there was really no like kind of crossover. The Venn diagram was 2 separate circles, right? And now brands like Casper, Purple, Nectar, I believe Satva is going to be opening stores as well, where it's a good way to kind of go in, like you said, and try them out for yourself. And you can still order from home and get the box delivered, or the, white glove delivery if they offer it. I have never personally experienced or seen better deals at a store. Usually if it's like the brand store itself, you're probably gonna see the same deal, like identical to identical to what you're gonna see online. In general, I'm talking more, I guess, about like a mattress firm, or more of like you said, like a neighborhood shop, a general store. Like they may offer you, I don't think you're going to spend less. They may offer you like more accessories from that store. Like, oh, hey, if you get this, I'll throw in, an extra sheet set, or, pillows, or a mattress protector. But a lot of brands do that online as well. A lot of times you have like sleep bundles where, buy this mattress, you get everything you need, to go along with it.
So this newer phenomenon, and I don't really pay attention like you do, but on my brain, it's newer, is a bed in a box. What is this? And is that a real mattress? And are they comfortable? Because it doesn't look like anything when it's, delivered or shows up that I would want to sleep on. What is this bed in a box thing?
Okay, so that was my thought exactly when I started doing this, right? I said, there's no way that this, 2 foot by 2 foot box, it's this tube is going to hold a comfy mattress. And I definitely think there is like now a misconception because of the early mattresses that did that, like Amazon mattresses. It was like they would come out like pancakes. Like my first bed when I moved here to Austin was a pancake, and I just dealt with it. I was like, I don't need money. I'm just gonna sleep on it. It was horrible, right? It was like 3 inches thick. Most online mattress brands today do use bed in a box, but they are higher quality, and a lot of times. It used to be you couldn't get an inner spring mattress or a hybrid in a box. You can get those too. Like and so we open them up. I do recommend, like most brands say, like give it 24 to 48 hours to completely off gas and expand. And that will kind of you get some chemical smells in there from everything kind of trapped. Alzheimer's, foam is going to be more compressed right away. Give it a couple days, it will fully form. There are times when there are mattresses I open where it just never fully expands. It's rare. I'll contact the brand and say, hey, this one, we got a lemon, and they'll send me a new one. And that's obviously what brands will do if you have an issue. But it's honestly like the majority of the best brands online do bed in a box. And there are, again, those, I think, like, Satva does not compress. Most Tempur-Pedics, except for their cloud mattress, I believe, are not compressed. So there are still those. If you're still a little scared, they'll come completely expanded. It'll have a plastic bag around it, but it's just like, that's just how they ship it. And then you get white glove delivery. Delivery people will bring it inside, set it up in your bedroom for you, which can take a lot of the worrying away about what's this going to look like you said, when I take this out of the box.
I've seen those, and I've seen return policies, or, them being advertised, sleep on it for 6 months and we'll take it back, no questions asked, or whatever time frame, right?
Yeah.
I don't know why it seems weird to me that I would sleep on a mattress and then return it. Is that a thing, or is that something I should absolutely be looking for when buying a mattress, is the ability to figure out whether or not it's working with my body, with my sleep patterns, and being able to return it?
I think so, for sure. And the majority of brands, but especially online brands, have some kind of sleep trial. And the least you're going to find is 100 days. So about, over a little over 3 months, up to, like you said, 6 months. And other brands do a whole year. And as you said, the thinking behind that is you're not going to know right away if this mattress is right for you. Some, especially bed in a box mattresses, they feel a little firm at first, and they take a little time to, the break-in period, right? Specifically, beds like, well, they're not bed in a box, like a Tempur-Pedic mattress, like high-quality memory foam, like super high density. And at first you're like, oh, this isn't giving in at all. But over time, it does kind of start to respond to your body. But you may be, as you said, 6 months in to a, year trial and say, I thought I was a back sleeper. Like you said before, I'm not even sure what I am, right? I thought I was a back sleeper. It turns out I'm a side sleeper, and I'm waking up with aches and pains, every night. The way a lot of times, if you are going to return it, is they will usually work with some kind of charity to come to your place and pick it up. They're not going to be selling it to another customer through the site, but it's a good way. I mean, they want to give back. It's a good way to kind of give those to, Salvation Army or organizations like that. Obviously, if it's in good shape, if it's not, they're just going to probably have to recycle it in some other fashion. But I think, as you said, it's a really good idea to make sure you have some kind of sleep trial and warranty as well. And it's usually going to cover your mattress defects or like premature sagging. They get super specific, like mattresses are going to sag like over time, but if it's sagging a lot, like early, that's a good way to kind of protect yourself, to say, oh, I'm 3 years into this and it's a canoe. Please get me a new model or something else, or just a full refund. And a lot of brands will do that for you.
That's really interesting. It always seemed like, eating 3/4 of your dinner, then sending it back to the kitchen. But I guess it's a thing, and right? It is. I shouldn't think of it like that, should I?
No, I don't think so. And I don't think it's being, any disingenuous in any way to be like, no, this just isn't, this isn't working for me. And a lot of times with warranties, it's like, if you mistreat the mattress, that's why it's not working well, that would be on you, like with any product, right? But if you're just sleeping on it and it's not working, most of these brands are going to work with you to return that or swap it out for a different model, or again, refund.
Let's move to pillows.
Yes.
And does the same thinking go there in terms of the type here's how I buy pillows. I go to Costco and I walk by and I go, my pillows are pretty gross. These are on sale. I should buy 4 of them. I'm gonna guess you're gonna say that's not the right way to do this.
I mean, whatever works, and you may, if you need, if those are like flatter pillows that aren't great, you put a couple under your head and it's okay. But in general, yeah, you want to like find something specific to your situation. And so pretty similar to what you're dealing with mattresses. Like for mattresses, you want, firm for stomach sleeping, medium firm for back sleeping, soft for side. With pillows, back similar, kind of a medium loft. But for side sleeping, you want something thick and supportive. And that's because when you're on your side, your head, you want to keep your spine in neutral alignment at all times. That's kind of the name of the game, to prevent pain of all types with your joints and with all over your body. With a tall supported pillow, it's going to keep your head aligned and held up with the rest of your spine. Stomach sleeping in general is not good. Like it's a lot of chiropractors say it's not good for your back. You need a super firm mattress again. But if you do sleep on your stomach, you can almost have no pillow at all. Like if you're going to have a pillow, you want super, super thin. And so maybe it's for a little bit of comfort on your face. But when I've stomach slept, I sleep on a super like big pillow top mattress. I don't have a pillow at all, because you don't want your head kind of like kinked off the mattress like that. We just had a chiropractor visit. We were doing some videos together. Gives a lot of great information about that. It's all about, again, that neutral alignment, making sure you're not, when you're on your back being pushed like that, on your side that, or kind of sinking down to the mattress, or on your stomach, kind of being pushed away from the bed.
I've been made to feel very guilty for stomach sleeping for many years, and I'm not sure I can change it. And here's another example, guys.
I'm adding fuel to the fire on that. So.
Yeah, no, I know it's my own hang up. It's fine. I just I don't know. That's how I sleep. At least that's how I start off. All right. Well, hey, I'll ask you. You're a sleep expert. How do I change the way I go to sleep, or change the way I sleep if I'm not doing it right?
There are ways to like train your body, and a lot of times, from what I've seen, it's with pillows in different like parts of your body. So if you're constantly rolling onto your back and you don't want to be on your back, you can put a pillow like behind your lower back when you're on your side. There's ways to, if you are going to sleep on your stomach, you can also like put a pillow under your pelvic area to kind of keep your hips aligned and to keep your pelvis from sinking too far into the mattress. So there's pillows, those are the kind of main ways I've seen. But in my experience, I'm a back and side sleeper, and I can't change that. I'm just kind of I kind of roll with it. Like you said, like the only situations to, if you're okay in your stomach, you're probably okay. But there, with health issues, right? And sometimes doctors will say you can't sleep on your back. Like for me with sleep, I have sleep apnea, right? So back sleeping in general is not good. And if I am going to do it, I need to elevate my head in some way. Side is best for that. But other health issues as well, they may recommend an adjustable base. We've been reviewing those as well and have those at home to maybe raise your head a little bit when you're sleeping, which will also help you stay in certain positions. But all types of things you might want to talk to your medical professional about when it comes to how your sleeping affects your overall health as well.
I didn't even ask about those, but I do want to know those. All these fancy commercials out there, but you can raise your bed like with a button.
Yeah.
Sit up, and I don't know if you're eating crackers or watching TV or both. But it's like a lazy boy, but it's your bed. I would
Yes.
imagine that that adds price and complexity. Is that what you should be doing in bed, or should you be sleeping in bed?
I think in general, I mean, so mostly your bedroom should be a place for sleep and intimacy, right? It should not be for TV, for work. I mean, I was guilty during COVID, working from home and using my laptop in bed, having having lunch in bed. We all kind of definitely develop some bad habits, right? In general, you don't want to eat in bed for, bed bug issues. Also just like keeping your mattress clean in general. You also want to keep your bedroom like kind of cool, dark, and quiet. It's all about, good sleep hygiene to promote the best sleep possible. And so I think most people, I think, who need adjustable bases, it's best for people, I think, with health issues or who with other types of pain issues. Or like you said, it is sometimes fun to, if you are like a studio apartment, you don't have like a couch area, like, oh, hey, I want to like, I do want to watch TV. I have a TV in my bedroom too. Like I don't always practice what I preach. So it's like, okay, cool. I can sit up and, watch Smokey and the Bandit and then lie back down. So it's kind of the best of both worlds.
Good choice, Smokey and the Bandit.
Can't go wrong
And
with her.
I know this is going to seem random, maybe as a question, because I'm going to get into betting next, because that's kind of the third piece of this is betting. But what about the whole cool yourself off? Your partner turns the heater on, dual comfort zones. Feels like you're in a luxury automobile, and trying to fight with who's going to be cold and who's going to be hot. Is that stuff important? Not important? Worth the price? Not worth the price?
Are you talking more about like, beds like the 8 Sleep and like Sleep Number and like those kind of things with the
Yeah,
actual cooling?
yeah.
I think it depends. I've tried the 8 Sleep. And I mean, it's high tech. Like that thing it is cold. Like it really, really does. It runs water throughout the cover. There's a giant thing I think it's called the hub on the side. It's something out of like 2001. It's very Stanley Kubrick, and it pumps either cool or warm water into your bed. Like you said, it's two sides. Um, I think it's worth it if like that could be again a health thing or you are an extreme hot sleeper. I'm a hot sleeper, but not that bad. And we'll get to bedding, more kind of normal types of bedding and ways to stay cool at night. There's also something called the bed jet. And the bed jet basically shoots air underneath your covers at different temperatures to kind of keep you cool. But a lot of times, like the right sheets, the right comforter, and like the AC is going to do you just fine. And the right mattress as well.
Gotcha. Thank you. So betting, I guess
Yes.
that's the third part of this piece, right? Betting, Egyptian cotton, thread count. I mean, again, the number of options you have and what you hear and see out there, it's just dizzying. Help us and help me.
I don't go I don't go too crazy I don't have to spend a lot on betting, honestly. I like personally, anything over like $200 for like a set of sheets, I'm like, no. I think it's worth it when you think of durability, like long staple cotton or Egyptian cotton will last longer. You're gonna have, fewer issues sometimes with types with pilling. So the more you wash it, you don't want it to kind of start to fray. I think I don't go too deep again on thread count. I think I'm not, as to be honest, not as much of a bedding guy's mattress, but in my experience, I try to stay away from things that are too much on the expensive. And we reviewed like $500 sheets, and it's nice, I guess, but it's like it's like nice scotch. I'm like, I don't think I'm sophisticated enough to feel the difference. That's your thing. It's like cool, but maybe not for me.
I never did that with wine either. I could never tell. I had to fake it. And they're like, how does that taste? And I go, well, that tastes good. Well, is that the expensive one or the cheap one? I have no clue.
You get the green apple in there? That kind of fun?
The hints, the tannins and the hints of oak. Oh, yes, I got all of those. Yeah, that's hilarious. All right, so back to cool stuff around mattresses. So we've got mattresses, we got pillows, we've got bedding, and then you said something called the bed jet, didn't you? Did you say the bed jet? What is
the
that?
bed jet? That's again, it's going to shoot like air underneath your sheets, underneath your comforter. I think it's a little extreme. When it comes to bedding, I mean, one thing I do know about is keeping it nice and breathable if you're a hot sleeper. So there are a couple different major weaves of cotton sheets and duvets. You'll have sateen or percale. And in general, percale is going to be more breathable than sateen. It has more of that kind of laundered shirt feel. Sateen will be a little bit thicker, a little bit softer and silkier. If you're a hot sleeper, usually something with percale that's going to have some nice breathability to it. Pairing that with a more breathable comforter. In general, a down comforter is going to be better than a down alternative. It's going to cost you more, but there is more natural kind of airflow with that versus that more kind of polyester design. And you can also, there are like cooling pads that you can add to your bed. Something called a chili pad. I believe 8 Sleep does have something. It's like a separate thing you can put on your bed. And a lot of times it's, if you have breathable sheets, breathable comforter, there are cooling pillows that are kind of like cool to the touch. You can feel it like even through the pillowcase. You combine that with a nice, AC unit, and you're going to be okay. To your original question too about, I mean, sleeping with a partner is always a major issue for couples of with people, different preferences, right? It comes up a lot, and you hear about things like sleep divorce, right? Where a lot of couples are sleeping separately in their house, where they have 2 bedrooms because their preferences are so different, or snoring is an issue, or moving around at night is an issue. And sometimes it may be you each have different sheets, right? So you could have, especially if you're like a split king mattress, you each can have your own sheets on your side. You can have different covers, so you're also not fighting over the same covers during the night, another issue for a lot of couples. In addition, thinking about something called motion transfer, motion isolation. That's that feeling when you're, on your side of the bed, your partner gets up to go to the bathroom, you feel the whole bed shake. Some beds are better at kind of cutting down on that. Some are not as good. And so something with like thick memory foam on top is usually very good at kind of absorbing that motion. But some innerspring mattresses are also good at cutting down on that motion transfer. Basically anything to, keep you from fighting over, sleep and waking each other up at night, making sure it's a nice, comfortable spot, for both of you.
Yeah. Okay. That's good stuff. Thank you. Have you noticed in your research and all of your interactions with the mattresses and the bedding and everything else, are there different ages where you have to pay attention to certain things and you might not have in prior years? And so if you think about aging, I mean, I've got more aches and pains now than I did when I was in my 20s for sure. And I'm going to assume when I'm in my 70s, I'll have more as well. Are there guides out there or advice? Is there advice out there around people and how their bodies age and what type of support and mattress they need? Or is this type of advice universal? Or is there a difference when it comes to age?
That's a really good question. I think it's more specific again to the issues that you may be dealing with. So like for instance, my mom has arthritis, and so for her, pain relief is a big thing. As you said, back pain. So getting a bed with some sort of enhanced lumbar support can help there too. General people I know in my life with fibromyalgia, kind of more, chronic pain, pressure relief can help with that. It's obviously not going to fix everything, but also a big thing in general for people as they age, especially when you're getting into later ages where you're having trouble with mobility, is response of your mattress. And that's one of the main drawbacks of memory foam. So on one hand, it's great with pain and pressure relief, but something with like thick memory foam right on top may make you feel stuck in the mattress. And so a lot of times people complain, I don't like to feel like I can't move around, or if incontinence is an issue, like I have to go to the bathroom many times a night and I have trouble getting out of bed, like that's going to be an issue. Or edge support as well, which is, again, how supportive the edge of your mattress is. You want something that's going to actually give you support to sit there if you need to lean over and tie your shoes, or to get out of bed. The whole thing collapses under your weight. It's not going to be very safe, specifically if mobility is an issue.
Oh, I didn't think about all those things. That makes a lot of sense. Yeah, I don't have a memory foam mattress, but I have slept in them before, and you're right. I mean, they're harder to get out of. Because when you
Yes.
plant a hand and try to swing a leg over, your hand drops 6 inches. It is different like that. Yeah, those are interesting pieces there. So, hmm. And in terms of pillows, I guess similar advice. If you are dealing with some stuff, either at any age, really, in terms of health or health challenges.
Yeah, I mean, different ages, but obviously pregnancy, there's pregnancy pillows, which are built specifically to give you support where you need it during those months. Getting older, when you get into any kind of neck issues as well, there are pillows built sometimes specifically for that, just for the right amount of neck support. Things get pretty high tech in the pillow sphere for that, and there are and medical pillows too. If you're dealing with severe medical issues, it may be something prescribed, or a doctor's going to help you find the right thing for your specific problem. Or, when it gets into, I have like this slipped disc, or I have this herniated disc, like that's what you're going to really want to speak with your doctor about, exactly what you need, to make sure that you're getting the support and the comfort you need, and not being a danger to your health as well.
I should have probably asked this earlier, but it's also not a fair question. So maybe it's good that I keep it for the end. How much money should I spend on a mattress? Is there a min max? I mean, I have friends that have said I spent $10,000 on a mattress, and I've said I've bought a used Honda for $10,000. Is there like a crazy amount? Is there look? You got to have this base that you can't buy a car for $500 and expect it to run more than 38 seconds. Is there this kind of range, or is it really all over the map due to the so many choices and all the higher and the different levels of quality?
That is a great question. And I would say generally the minimum for me would be about $800. There are some brands that I have tried, that a queen size, and I'm talking about, queen size, usually what I use to kind of compare. $800, I think you could still get a good quality. You get below that, and like you said, you're gonna be kind of dealing with durability issues. This might not last as long, not the best investment. Anything in my experience over like 3,000, I have not seen an insane jump in quality. And I know there's that $10,000 like Swedish mattress that has like real horsehair in it. It's handmade. And like I'd love to try it, just for like information's sake or just curiosity's sake. But like any kind of item, when you get into the luxury end, it's more about like, look what we have in the bed versus this is actually going to give you a better sleep. Like there are leather couches that are going to be less comfortable than, just some basic polyfoam couch. It's like, it's all about what you want. And if you have the money to spend, but yeah, I think 10,000 is crazy. I do have a story though. When I first started reviewing mattresses, my best friends here asked me to house sit for them, and they're like, hey, like, stay at our house for a week. We're going to be out of the country. You can just sleep here. I'm like, cool. Made a super expensive bed. I think I spent like 7-8 grand on it. And they're really proud of it. And they're like, so they come back, they're like, what do you think? And I'm like, it's all right. And they
Come
were
on, they wanted
so
that feedback badly.
they were
The
so
sleep expert
mad.
guy.
They were so mad. And I was like, no, it was good, but it wasn't worth $8,000, you know, and it was hilarious. And I still make fun of him for it. I'm like, oh, how's your bed? Is it still great? And again, it was a nice one, but I was like, I think you spent a little bit too much on that, you know, because again, I've tried some that are, you know, they get sweet spot is like 1,500, 1,600, like those like hybrids that are right around there. Like I love that. Like I love those kind of mattresses. And that's usually kind of where I hang out. But again, if you get over like 3-4 grand, I think you're into like scary territory of what you're getting. So
No, that's really good to know. Because you know, it's somebody who can't sleep or is having a hard time or needs a new mattress and says, you know, by gosh, I want to get 8 hours. The more I spend, the more sleep I'll get. You're saying that's not exactly true.
yeah, not always the case, you know, and there are some very nice luxury ones that I'm sure will still give you a great sleep, but like you're still, you know, you could have saved 3-4 grand and spent that on, like you said, like, you know, a down payment on a house or a car or something else that you need to get.
Yeah, my interpretation of what you said is kind of the law of diminishing returns. After $3,000, sure you can get a higher quality, but dollar for dollar, it doesn't add. You know, the $1 more above 3,000 isn't $1 worth of comfort and or functionality. It's less and less and less as you get more expensive. Your sweet spot's 800 to 3 grand.
Yes, absolutely.
That's awesome advice. Thank you, and very practical.
Yeah, of course.
Tell me what questions about sleep science, mattresses, anything else that I should have covered that I didn't, or questions I should have asked that I did not.
Trying to think. I think that's all. I mean, you hit it all. That was a really well. I think we got a lot of stuff covered
Did we
today.
hit it all?
So yeah. Maybe not all, but it's my brain is a little bit, you know, I can't think of anything off the top of my head. But this was awesome.
Okay, awesome. Well, I'm glad I did at least a decent interview to stump the mattress expert, dude. That's awesome. Thanks.
Yes.
All right. I guess that's it. Give me some last advice. Give me some final thoughts around people who are having difficulty sleeping, which seems like everybody I talk to these days, and aches and pains and the craziness of online shopping or in-store shopping. Yeah, take us home. Give us a final flurry, if you will.
Yeah. I would say don't be overwhelmed. While it can feel overwhelming for all the options out there. If you find sites like ours, Mattress Clarity, I think they can be helpful to help you narrow down your decision. I also think don't push through the pain. I think that if you feel pain in your body, listen to it. And if it is because of your mattress, it's time to upgrade. And there's also, it can seem like a lot of money at first, but considering how much you're going to use your mattress and your bedding, like it's a worthwhile investment. You know, if you're going to get 7 to 10 years out of this thing, do the math. I mean, you're really not spending, you know, that much money. And just to help financially, there are payment plans with a lot of these brands. So if you are worried about that big chunk of change, you can pay out over monthly installments, you know, for years to come.
Marten, thanks very much.
Thanks for having me.
The Matt Feret Show, related content, publications, and MF Media LLC is in no way associated, endorsed, or authorized by any governmental agency, including the Social Security Administration, the Department of Health and Human Services, or the Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services. The Matt Feret Show is in no way associated with, authorized, approved, endorsed, nor in any way affiliated with any company, trademark names, or other marks mentioned or referenced in or on The Matt Feret Show. Any such mention is for purpose of reference only. Any advice, generalized statistics, or opinions expressed are strictly those of the host and guests of The Matt Feret Show. Although every effort has been made to ensure the contents of The Matt Feret Show and related content are correct and complete, laws and regulations change quickly and often.
The ideas and opinions expressed on the Matt Feret Show aren't meant to replace the sage advice of healthcare, insurance, financial planning, accounting, or legal professionals. You are responsible for your financial decisions. It is your sole responsibility to independently evaluate the accuracy, correctness, or completeness of the content, services, and products of, and associated with, The Matt Feret Show, MF Media LLC, and any related content or publications. The thoughts and opinions expressed on The Matt Feret Show are those of the host and The Matt Feret Show guests only, and are not the thoughts and opinions of any current or former employer of the host or guests of The Matt Feret Show, nor is The Matt Feret Show made by, on behalf of, or endorsed or approved by any current or former employer of the host or guests of The Matt Feret Show.